Hello. No, it's not the Polar Expedition channel. It's actually just Artisan Woodworks as normal, except that it's January and it's bitterly cold. So I've got about 16 layers on. So if I look like Scott of the Antarctic, that's the reason why. So what we're going to be making, very appropriate for this time of year, is a boot jack. So when you've been out walking the dog or out in the garden and you come in, rather than traipsing mud through the house to the kitchen, makes it nice and easy, take your boot off really simply. We're using this one piece of mango wood. It's about 14 inches long, 5 inches wide, roughly 350 by 120, 125. I didn't make a drawing for this project, but here's a still shot with the dimensions overlaid on top. Feel free as always to pause the video and take a note of the dimensions. Right, so the first thing we're going to do is to mark up the board. So I'm going to draw a line 155 millimeters down. Then we need to find the centre line of the board. So the way we're going to do that is to draw a 45-degree line going from the top corner and then flip it over and go from the other corner. Okay, and that's our centre line on the board. We'll extend that down, we'll extend it across to the other end of the board. Got a 60 millimeter hole saw, so we're going to cut hole here in there, and then we're going to mark an 80 millimeter gap either side. So we go 40 millimeters and then at the other end we need to do the same. We want to be 80 millimeters wide at the end, so we'll mark 40 and 40. Now we're not going to cut these, we'll leave the board square until we finish drilling and cutting all the angles and bits and pieces, so that it will make it easier, and then we'll just finally shape it at the end. Okay, so the next thing I want to do, we've got our hole now. This is going to be the opening of the boot jack. And so here we want to put some grooves across the board so that it's not slippery when you've got wet boots on, just to give it a bit of grip. So we'll mark a line 155 millimeters down. Okay, and we're going to cut a series of grooves to about 50 millimeters down. Okay, to about there. Now, there's no set pattern to this. It's basically going to be groove, space, groove, space, groove, space all the way along. And the other thing we need to do, flip it over on the back side, is to cut a housing joint or a dado across there, just to put our pivot piece in so that it's got room to move across. So again, we'll go 155, but this time, and I'll just mark that roughly for now, because we use the piece of wood itself to check our dados, but 155, and then I'll hold that against it, mark that side too. Okay, so I've set the mitre saw up to make a trenching cut. I'll just demonstrate what I've done is I've put set the blade so that, as you see, that's as low as it will go, which is about 5 millimeters or just under 1/4 inch into the wood. You don't want to come too far down, so it will just weaken the joint. So you just want a shallow dado for that. Now, the other thing about a trenching cut, you'll see that's as far back as it will go. Okay, I'm not going to get full depth there, so I need to bring this board out to the midpoint of the blade at least. So I'm going to put a sacrificial piece behind and then just make the trenching cut in that way. So that's where we are. Just going to do a test fit, see if we need to take a little bit more off. Yeah, we do. Still too tight. There we go. Just sneaking up on it. Now we're in there. So I've got glue on that. That'll be perfect. So what we need to do now is to start shaping the board. And what this will mean is that we'll run from about here, connect that 80 there, cut that off there, same on that side. Right, so just going to establish the curve line with the saw. Got a pencil line on there. Do that with the R2 side, and then just clean it up on a sander, and then we'll be good. Same thing on this side. That's basically the shape done. So just tidy it up on the sander, and then we'll be ready to finally assemble it. So final thing to do is glue this up. Couple of clamps, hold it tight. Right, so now the glue's had a chance to dry up a bit. Do is give it a coat of tung oil. I'm just using a foam brush for this, but you use a cloth or whatever you've got, a brush, normal brush, whatever you've got to hand. Some needs to set up for probably 6 or 8 hours, or I'll probably leave it overnight. And then we'll come back in the morning and try it out. And here's the boot jack finished. As you can see, it makes taking off boots or shoes really easy and makes it a hands-free operation. If you'd like to get back to using your hands, here's another project for your home.